All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rainmakers Roundup. I'm your host, Mark Iorio. So glad to be here with Ethan Millrood from Go2.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Doing great, Mark.
All right.
Awesome.
It's so nice to have you on the show. When we met at the Entrepreneurs Forum a number of months ago. And you know how when you first meet someone, you know, like immediately you're going to hit it off with them?
Yep.
And you feel comfortable almost from the get-go?
That's how I felt with you.
That's how I felt with you. And I mean that. I mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
You look like one of those people that I could just, hang around with for a long time. And I'm glad you're here. I want to talk about Go2.
Yeah.
The backdrop on Go2, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And all about you. So
yeah, and vice versa. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Great setup.
It's great to have you.
Yeah.
So Go2, right, is a managed IT services business, and as we know, that's changed a lot over the years. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of the organization?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Go2 is a play on words. If you haven't figured that out already.
Yeah.
We are a single technology source for our customers.
Yeah.
We actually started out about 17 years ago, Mark, and we started out as a company called Computer and Network Paramedics. But over the years, we recognized that technology was converging.
Okay.
And more things that weren't touching your network.
Oh yeah, sure.
We started to infiltrate, or as they call it, convergence.
Yep.
Things like your video surveillance and your phone system and your carrier services and your Wi-Fi. These things were all separate and not really core things that an IT company cared for.
Right.
We started to recognize that these things were converging into your network, and we were starting to get really good at those things. Mm-hmm. And we would check in with our clients and find out, how many vendors do you have that serve the needs of all of these different services?
Yeah.
And we were finding out that oftentimes businesses would have 4 or 5 or 6 so-called go-to vendors trying to integrate technology, while the business owner was watching the disruption that created, pulling his or her hair out. As they were watching these vendors bring technology together, and they were fumbling over themselves.
Yeah.
And we were becoming that vendor that was a single point of contact for our customers. So in 2014, we woke up realizing that Computer and Network Paramedics didn't really reflect who we'd become as a company. Mm-hmm. And since we had always asked our customers, do you have a go-to vendor for this or go-to vendor for that? Why not just call the company Go2? So we switched it to Go2 in 2014.
Yeah.
And here we are 5 years later.
And it's been growing ever since. I mean, quite a bit, right? You've had, thank God, you've had good success over the last 5-6 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with the Philly 100, for example, which is an award that's given to the fastest growing companies in the Philadelphia region, the top 100 companies, we've won that award 3 years. We've been on the list the last 3 years running, and hopefully we're aspiring to do it again.
That's okay. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. Yeah. I mean, that Philly 500 is the fastest growing organization.
100.
Yeah. Philly 100.
100.
Right.
Yeah.
Philly 100.
Yeah.
So when you look at the Go2 platform, Ethan, it's people don't think about all the things that you do, right? All the services you provide. Managed IT services years ago used to be just managing IT, right?
We weren't even called managed IT providers back then, or MSPs, as managed service providers as they call us today.
Right.
Back then we were break-fix IT companies.
Yeah.
So we installed computers and servers and firewalls and things like that. And
all the normal stuff.
And when they broke, we fixed it.
Right.
And it was a very reactive thing.
There you go, exactly.
And then over the years, and we didn't have the tools back then that we have today. Today we have tools where we can proactively monitor and proactively care for a client's technology needs. So break-fix IT companies, as these tools came about, the break-fix IT companies changed into this fancy thing called managed service providers.
Yeah.
So now that's who we are today, an MSP. And I like to think of ourselves as an MSP on steroids, actually.
So with regard, I told you before that Rainmakers is all about, competitive businesses. You're in a competitive field. I mean, IT services just generally is pretty competitive.
It really is.
It is, right?
Yeah.
And what's cool about this is that Go2 is different. You are different from everyone else, and I want you to talk about that because, to me, when people look at managed IT services, they don't think of all the things that you and I have talked about. Go2 does.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about those services you provide?
Absolutely. And people ask us what we do, And I
Yeah.
say we're an MSP, but I oftentimes say, tongue-in-cheek, that we're an MSP on steroids.
Yeah.
Because most MSPs out there just focus on the computer stuff, the network stuff.
Yeah.
They don't really dabble in all of these things that have converged into the network, like phone systems and video surveillance and carrier services and cellular repeaters and all those things.
Right.
Those are all things that we do as a company. So when people ask us all this, what services do you provide, we tell them that we help customers with the design, implementation, and maintenance of all of their voice data and video needs.
Okay.
And our clients, the business owners, they love having a single objective advocate that is there to get their back and make sure their technology needs are handled.
Yeah.
And beyond that, people ask me, what we do and what type of company we are. I say we're an IT company or MSP in our
Yeah.
core, but I really like to think of ourselves as a customer service company. And I know it sounds cliche,
Yeah.
but a lot of MSPs out there struggle with really recognizing the importance that at the end of the day, people just want to have great service.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they care about their technology, but they're not really looking at the bits and bytes and the granularity of stuff. They want to just operate their business, and they want technology to work, and they
Right.
want great service.
Right.
So that's what we pride ourselves on, is
Yeah.
providing great service to our customers.
You mentioned a few minutes ago that it used to be a very reactive business.
Sure.
The managed IT services MSP on steroids business was just generally pretty reactive.
Yeah.
But now it's much more proactive.
Sure.
And I want you to kind of explain to the audience what you mean by that. What sort of things can I, as a small business owner, expect from Go2 when I hire them?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, we want to focus on not just the here and today, but the moving forward into the future, and how ensuring that your technology needs are cared for today and into the future.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, the tools that we use today didn't exist to, for example, proactively monitor your network or make sure that we are aware of things that are happening before they really cause an alarm
Okay.
for an organization. So, for example, we have best practices that we follow when we implement the technology services for our clients. They include things like actually, we have a bundle of services called GEM, Go2 Endpoint Management.
Oh, cool.
Which includes a suite of services that ensures that we're proactively monitoring our client's network.
Okay.
And we identify concerns before they really cause an alarm for that customer, and we're stepping to it, and oftentimes letting the client know about those concerns before they're even aware.
Okay. So, for example, there's a cybersecurity attack on your business, your
Yes.
small business, and Go2 is there protecting the organization from that.
Yeah.
I do not believe that small business owners understand the complexity and the difficulty to come out of an attack like that, a
Yes.
malware attack or something like
Or
that.
ransomware.
Or something
Big
like
thing nowadays.
Why don't you talk about that?
Absolutely, and I can tell you that one of the things I hate hearing from customers, it will never happen to me,
Yes.
and then later on, I wish I had.
Yeah.
And so for those reasons, we take an approach to encourage clients to consider things like continuity platforms, things that we can put in place for our customers. So even if those malicious attackers get into a client's network, they're protected, and we can say, go fly a kite to the hackers,
Right.
because our client's data is protected. We have services and solutions that we put in place, for example, that back up our customers' data. And in the event that they experience an attack like a ransomware attack,
Right.
we can actually go back in time
Yeah.
before that attack occurred.
Right.
And recover from that point in time.
Beautiful, yeah.
As early as 15 minutes ago.
Wow.
So that clients can be assured that their data is protected and
Yeah.
have peace of mind to run their business.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you say to a small business owner who says to you, Ethan, you know what? I'm a small business owner. Who is going to attack me?
Yeah.
Right? Why do they need me for ransomware?
Yeah.
Why do they need me for malware?
Yeah,
What do you say to them?
Everybody is prone to an attack, and I could provide to that business owner allegories and anecdotes of other businesses of their size that have been experienced malicious attacks.
Yeah.
There are not people out there typing on a keyboard looking for these small business owners. There's bots, there's
Yeah.
automated systems that are out there searching for windows and vulnerabilities.
There you go.
And speaking of vulnerabilities, nowadays, one of the biggest things is, and the biggest culprits of these issues are your users that sit on your network.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
so some of the things that we do today that aren't actually tangible services or physical devices that we put on a customer's network is just provide testing to users and provide user awareness training so that individuals know how to act in today's digital age. For example, avoidance of going onto an email and clicking on something that could potentially allow an attack to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or answering a phone call. I mean, nowadays things don't just come in to your computer. Sometimes people call up. That's
Yeah.
called vishing versus phishing.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
all sorts of different attacks.
Yeah, because it's voice.
So you need to provide awareness training to users, and it is invaluable.
Yeah. So what you're saying is if you see something suspicious, right, there's a whole training program here. I don't want to just encapsulate it in this conversation.
Yeah.
But if you just generally a tip would be if you see something suspicious coming in via email or on your cell phone, don't engage.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. And see something, say something.
Yeah.
Bring it to your IT vendor's attention. Bring it to our attention right away.
Right.
As a matter of fact, when we do this user assessment and vulnerability assessment, we actually test the users. We send them what it would be a potential attack.
That's interesting.
And see how they react.
Yeah.
And then go to the business owner and say, listen, here's what happened when your users were tested, and here's a prescription to help avoid that from happening in the future.
Right. So with all this competition out there, right, and the fact that you've got managed IT services businesses all over the place, how are you doing your marketing? How do you do your business development? Where does that all come from?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do our business development in a number of ways. First off, today we have about 200 to 250 active customers.
Wow.
So yeah, so we generate quite a lot of business through helping our clients with additional technology services that can round out their needs. We have a go-to partner network, agents that, you know, maybe there are other IT companies or other organizations that are in our complementary space to us that don't do all the things that we do, but want to do it. They don't have the know-how, the resources, the experience, but they want to be able to do that to provide value and benefits to their clients. So they become our partners. And now they have all of the services and solutions that go2 provides.
Right.
And they're basically helping their customers out. So we have our partner network. I do a lot of networking, as you mentioned earlier, Entrepreneurs Forum, I co-host Executive Leaders Radio, we're members of Life Sciences Pennsylvania and other organizations. So through our networking efforts, that's another pathway to generating business.
Right.
Our employees, everybody in our company is a salesperson, even if you're not a salesperson, and everybody has the opportunity to bring business to go2.
That's fascinating.
And last but not least, our SEO,
Yeah.
search engine optimization. So I think we do a great job of leveraging SEO so that when people are looking for the technology needs for their business, we're ranking right up there at the top in the Google rankings.
Yeah, that's great.
We're one of the first or second on the list.
You know, we're going to talk about this after the break in more detail, but you know, to me, managed IT services is not a lot different than hiring an accountant or, you know, an attorney. It's very kind of personal to people.
Sure.
And so I think that networking opportunity that you talked about, getting out there, getting to know people, your personality, et cetera, really helps, you know, bridge that gap. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Ethan more about what drove him to get into this business in the first place. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind the scenes footage, previews, and more.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me.
Thanks, Liz.
A woman without a lot of time.
Whether you're a gourmet cook or just want to eat like one, visit Rostelli Market Fresh, your home for the freshest, locally sourced ingredients to please everyone who loves great food. Our organic meats, quality seafood, and free-range poultry are cut fresh to order. Chefs create culinary-inspired prep foods made fresh every day, which pair nicely with our vast selection of fine wines and spirits. Choose from handmade pastas, artisan cheeses, organic produce, and grocery items, all from the finest purveyors. Rostelli Market Fresh, from our family to yours.
RVN TV is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVN TV shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness. But what is your brand? According to Forbes, it's a combination of your logo, your product, your design and feel, and your personality. Did you know that aside from being a guest, we offer even more opportunity to boost your brand? Adding your company logo and website on screen during your interview will allow viewers to recognize your brand instantly. Incorporating images and video clips is another great way to showcase your product during your live segment. Let viewers see how good you really are. And most importantly, there's you and your interview. For less than the cost of a newspaper, direct mail, or a magazine ad, you can leave our studio and within 48 hours have a permanent digital copy of your live segment to link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write, the ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind the scenes footage, previews, and more.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me.
Thanks, Liz.
A woman without a lot of time.
Whether you're a gourmet cook or just want to eat like one, visit Rostelli Market Fresh, your home for the freshest, locally sourced ingredients to please everyone who loves great food. Our organic meats, quality seafood, and free-range poultry are cut fresh to order. Chefs create culinary-inspired prep foods made fresh every day, which pair nicely with our vast selection of fine wines and spirits. Choose from handmade pastas, artisan cheeses, organic produce, and grocery items, all from the finest purveyors. Rostelli Market Fresh, from our family to yours.
RVN TV is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVN TV shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness. But what is your brand? According to Forbes, it's a combination of your logo, your product, your design and feel, and your personality. Did you know that aside from being a guest, we offer even more opportunity to boost your brand? Adding your company logo and website on screen during your interview will allow viewers to recognize your brand instantly. Incorporating images and video clips is another great way to showcase your product during your live segment. Let viewers see how good you really are. And most importantly, there's you and your interview. For less than the cost of a newspaper, direct mail, or a magazine ad, you can leave our studio and within 48 hours have a permanent digital copy of your live segment to link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
7th Street, New York City. Ready?
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
We're back.
Yeah, we are back. I'm Mark Iorio from Rainmakers Roundup. This is my good friend Ethan Millrood, Go2.
Go2.
Good conversation.
Yeah, it's been great.
So listen, you have had a very interesting but circuitous route,
circuitous.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To IT.
Yes.
What's been the passion to get into IT? What's kind of driven you to get into IT, manage IT, Ethan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that past that you talk about, I actually, when I was younger, I started in the restaurant business, as so many of us do. When I was 13 years old, I worked for a local pizza shop. And I learned that business inside and out, and I worked all the way through high school, ultimately basically running the store.
That is a great experience, isn't it?
It really is.
Isn't it?
I mean, it really helped me on multiple levels. First of all, understanding a business inside and out really helps learning each part of the business. I mean, I started out doing all the grunt work.
Yeah.
Washing the dishes, cleaning the
Of course.
bathrooms,
Yep.
sweeping and mopping the floors.
Yep.
And over time, I kind of evolved and ultimately reached the highest echelon of the pizza business, which is being the pizza man. I can still spin.
Me too.
You
Me
can?
too. Yes, I can.
And running the store. And then I went to college. I went to college in New York City. I went to NYU, and I actually met someone ultimately getting into the restaurant business again. And I managed restaurants for years. I never really thought I was going to end up in IT. But the restaurant business served me very well because not only did I learn the ins and outs of a business, but I also learned the importance of being prepared. And that being prepared really applies in any business. Today, at Go2, everything that we do before we go on site to implement a firewall or a router or a computer, we stage and configure that in our office and make sure it's going to work, just as it's going to work when we bring it out on site. I learned that in the restaurant business because there's a lot of preparation that goes before you bring a dish out on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't realize everything that goes into that.
Yeah.
And when we talk to our clients, that is definitely a distinction because a lot of IT companies will bring the box out and open the box out and create disruption, out-of-box failures, and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So the restaurant business really prepared me for that. But it was a summer home from college, Mark, that I worked for a small interconnect company in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I started as a telemarketer. Believe it or not, I was selling fax machines door to door. In my brother's hand-me-down suits, I'm one of 7 kids.
Yeah. Wow.
In a car that had no air conditioning. Yeah, I'm
No
5th
kidding.
of 7.
Wow.
And then that was just a summer home from college. I went back to New York City, and in 1994, my father passed away, and I decided to move back to be with family.
Yeah.
And I looked up my boss, who I worked for in 1987. He gave me a job on the spot, and the rest is history. I worked in telecom and technology over the years, and you know, like I said before, the restaurant business really served me well, preparing for my future in telecom and technology. And it really taught me the importance of providing great service.
Yeah.
Because I like to think of myself as, I'm in technology, and I'm somewhat technical.
Yeah.
There's much more technical people that surround me.
Yeah.
You know, you surround
of
yourself
course.
with people that are smarter than you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I really am great, and I really pride myself and ourselves on providing great customer service.
Yeah.
And it was a restaurant business that really taught me.
You know what, Ethan? That's really quite fascinating because one of the reality shows that I love watching is John Taffer's Bar Rescue, and you're talking to me about stress tests. Like a lot of times they'll do a stress test on the restaurant and the bar prior to opening to the public.
Yeah,
you
see
know,
how it
they'll
goes.
open it to the public, but they'll have a stress test and see how everyone reacts.
rehearsal, yeah.
Right, dress rehearsal. But it seems like you're doing that at Go2 on a regular. You do that on a regular basis.
Every day. And when if you're my client, I'm going to tell you that before I come out to install that thing that you bought for me, I'm going to make sure it's going to work just as you expect it to work.
Wow.
And that's a big difference maker. And you would be surprised how many organizations don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. That, you know, I worked in lots of restaurants as well, probably 13 or 14 of them from the time I was a young guy until I was in college.
Yeah.
And you do learn a lot, but I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people just kind of ignore that. You know, if you're a youngster out there, young adult working in the restaurant industry, listen to Ethan. I mean, he picked up a lot of great, not just tips, but really understanding how to run a business from the ground up.
I'm learning every day.
And you learn every day.
And I bet you couldn't do what you're doing today if you weren't in the restaurant business.
Yeah,
it
you're
really
probably
helps
right.
you get yourself out there.
It does, yeah. There are a lot of great
Yeah.
stories there.
Really are.
So, you know, you mentioned that, you know, you got your first job in kind of an IT in 94 or so.
87 was really when
87
I
was the
started,
start.
and then in 94 I started up again.
Yeah, again, okay.
Yeah, so it's been 20-some years.
25 years,
Amazing,
right? Yeah.
amazing.
So tell me what changes have you seen? I mean, not just from a technology standpoint, but just generally. You know, you mentioned earlier, you know, from a very reactive business to a very proactive business. But talk to us about the changes that you've seen over the years.
Sure. I mean, obviously that, but also, look, at the end of the day, as I said earlier, our customers just want to have great customer service. And I think that MSPs that identify and recognize that, that has been a big game changer because it's so competitive.
Yeah, it is.
In the IT space.
It is.
So you need to recognize that in order to set yourself apart and be successful in the business. Obviously, technology has changed. Technology changes at light speed every single day.
Yeah.
We live in the age of the cloud.
Yep.
The cloud was, 10, 15 years ago, people didn't talk about the cloud or go to the cloud. Everybody had servers on site and everything was on site.
Yep.
Now everything is off site. And that server room that was full of racks of servers and stuff is empty today. And so when you talk about change, especially in the MSP space, you need to recognize that things change at light speed, and you need to stay with and ahead of the technology curve, because that's what your clients are expecting. And so if you're not doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're really doing your clients a disservice because they're looking for you to help with their vision on how they're going to leverage technology to meet their business needs.
There's I think there's a misconception out there. I want you to clear it up that because things are on the cloud, whether it's you using Microsoft Office 365 or whatever, that you don't need managed IT services because you know it's being protected. I want you to talk quickly about that. And
well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Because who do you think helps clients understand their cloud strategy?
Bingo.
And helps move them to the cloud.
Yeah.
And you still, look, the cloud is data centers out there that are interconnected.
Right.
There's still physical equipment out there. You need connectivity to the cloud. You still need to protect your network. You still have computers. You still have a firewall. You still have all that stuff. The servers might just not be on site. Believe it or not, you mentioned Office 365 before. Everybody thinks Microsoft is backing up all of your email. Well, they're not.
They're not.
So today, we actually provide services to protect our clients from Office 365 outages, or from losing mail, or backing up their mail, or from a user deleting an email mistakenly or on purpose, and not being able to get it back. So we help our clients ensure that that doesn't happen.
Fascinating. So over the years, people have inspired you, right? Family, friends, professors, whatever. Parents.
To inspire me today.
Talk about it.
I mean, I've had a lot of mentors and people that have inspired me along the way. From the guys the Sicilians that ran the pizza shop that I worked for. And I was glad that they were the ones, because I probably learned a lot more than I should have learned at 13 years old. Mark.
Exactly.
My family, like I said, I'm one of 7, my
Great.
mom and stuff. Definitely my wife and my kids, they inspire me, and they're my mentors every single day. My wife is one of my biggest mentors. My business partners, Travis and Mike, I have awesome business partners. And my team and my clients. I'm a sponge.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
If you just focus on a single mentor or mentors, everybody's a mentor to me every single day. Right now, our conversation, I'm taking things away, and I'm learning how to become better in any facet.
Right. Better version of yourself
Better
every
version
day.
of myself. Yeah.
Can't tell you how fascinating this has been and how
Yeah.
quickly it's gone. I'm
It's
gonna
amazing.
I'm
We're
gonna
done already?
I'm gonna have to have you come back.
I would love that.
Thank you.
Mark, thanks so much.
Thanks,
for having
Ethan.
Me. I really
it was a
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Can
Absolutely.
you tell everyone how to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So Go2, we can be found at www.go2tech.com. That's GO2tech.com.
All right. So for Ethan Millrood and Go2, by the way, we have our mugs here. I want you to see that, right? 610-567-3462.
That's our main number.
That's the main number.
Give us a shout.
Have a safe week, everyone. We'll see you next week on RVN TV's Rainmakers Roundup.